Hey guys, welcome back. Conceptual Geometry Lesson 1.3 is going to be a mixed review. So let's take a look. Question number 1, find the value of x and then the measure of both angles. So in this particular question, they don't give you verbally the relationship between the angles. You're supposed to identify it from the diagram. So what I like to do is I look at the shape here. Anytime I see an L or a corner of paper, that means a right angle 90 degrees. So this is a right angle, and it's made up of these two angles right here. So together, those have to add up to 90 degrees. So let's put them together. 3x plus 4 plus 20 equals 90 degrees. We'll combine these like terms because they're on the same side of the equation. 3x plus 24 equals 90. Subtract 24. 3x equals 66. Divide by 3. And I know x equals 22. Now, always go back and read the question. This says find the measure of both angles. Well, one of them's done. So what we need to do now is we need to take this, plug it in there. Or somebody might say, well, if I know this is 90 and that's 20, I'm just going to take 90 minus 20 to get that. Either way, you're going to end up with 70 degrees, obviously. So we found the value of x here, and I found the angle up there. Okay, question number 2. It says measure of angle ABD. So I'm going to trace it. ABD. So that's this top angle. Is 10x minus 3. So there's not a lot of room here, but let me try and squeeze that in there. 10x minus 3. Then it says the measure of angle DBC. DBC. So that's that bottom angle is 2x plus 5. So again, kind of small, but let me squeeze it in. 2x plus 5. And then finally, it says measure of angle ABC. So that's the whole thing that represents this whole angle here. So let me use that big arc. That's 68 degrees. So what I need to know here is that the whole angle is made up of the sum of the smaller ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plus this, and that has to equal 68. That's my equation. So I've got 10x minus 3 plus 2x plus 5 equals 68. Now again, some algebra review. These variables are on the same side of the equation, so I'm going to put those together. That gives me 12x. These numbers, let me go back here and just rewrite that. So that's 10x minus 3. So these numbers are also on the same side, so we have to put those together. A negative 3 and a positive 5 gives me a positive 2. That equals 68. So I'll subtract 2. I get 12x equals 66. Divide by 12. You can wind the calculator on this one. That's going to give me 5.5. And the directions here just say value of x. Doesn't say go back in and find the angles. So once I get x, I'm done. All right, question 3. Find the value of x and then the measure of both angles. So again, it doesn't tell me what the relationship is. I need to identify that from the diagram. And remember, we talked about when we see a straight line, that's going to give you 180 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two parts, add them up, set that equal to 180 degrees. So 4x plus 16 plus 2x plus 8 equals 180 degrees. I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to take the 4x and 2x, put those together. I'm going to take the 16 and the 8 and put those together because they're all on the same side of the equation. So 4x and 2x is 6x. 16 and 8 is 24. That's going to equal 180. Let's subtract 24 from both sides. I get 6x equals, what's that, 156? Divide by 6, and for x, throw that in the calculator, I got 26. So I found the value of x. That's part of your solution. Now I need to find the measure of both angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 26, I'm going to plug it into this expression right here. So it's going to be 2 times 26 plus 8. I'm going to throw that right into the calculator. I'll write it out here to show you what I'm doing. 2 times 26 plus 8. That's going to be this angle, and that's 60 degrees. Okay, so now I need to find the other angle. I need to find this angle right here. So 2 ways you can do it. Number one, you can take this 26 and you can plug it into this expression here, throw that into your calculator. Or remember, this is a straight line, so that equals 180 degrees, and that's 60, so I could do 180 minus 60 to get this one. So that's going to be 120. I'm going to throw that right in the diagram. All right, question 4. This one looks a little bit more complicated, so let's see what we have. Measure of angle 1 is 60 degrees. So there's angle 1, that's 60 degrees. So I'm going to put it right in the diagram. Then it says measure of angle 5 is 6x minus 20. Well, there's 5, so they're talking about this angle here is 6x minus 20. And then lastly, measure of angle 3 is 2x plus 30. So there's angle 3. That's going to be 2x plus 30. So what do I need to do? Well, I've got 3 angles here, not just 2, but there's that straight line. Remember, anytime you have a straight line, that represents 180 degrees. So all 3 of these have to add up to equal 180 degrees. And that's going to be your equation. All right, so I've got 60 plus 6x minus 20 plus 2x plus 30 equals 180 degrees. So more terms I'm used to seeing, but same procedure, combined like terms. So on this side, I've got 6x plus 2x, so that's going to give me 8x. Then I've got 60 minus 20, that's 40, plus 30, that's going to be 70. So I've got 8x plus 70 equals 180. Okay, let's subtract 70 from both sides. 8x equals 110. Now I'm going to divide by 8, and again, you're going to want a calculator for this. 110 divided by 8 is 13.75. So not every answer is going to be an integer. There are going to be times when we want to definitely use the calculator, and we'll have some decimals for our solutions. All right, next question. It says classify each angle below. I think this is one of the very first things we did in the unit. Acute, right, obtuse, reflex, and straight. I forgot about straight. So let's take a look here. 147 degrees. I need to remember, well, that's less than 180, but it's more than 90. We call that angle obtuse. 23 degrees, less than 90, that is acute. 205 degrees, more than 180, that's called a reflex. 90 degrees is a right angle. Now, these two are super important as we move forward. You have to be able to identify an angle by its shape. So I kind of use my right angle as a frame of reference at the corner of your paper. So if the angle is less than that, so if I estimate a right angle, this right here is a right angle. You see how this is less than that? It's like inside from a right angle. That's going to be acute. If your angle is more than a right angle, so if I try and estimate a right angle here, you see how this side goes beyond that, extends all the way beyond it, that's going to be obtuse. These are the 2 most common angles that we need to be able to identify from their shape. In our next lesson on day 4, when you get to that, this is going to become critical. Okay, let's move on. We got just a few more here. The complement. So for complement, what you want to remember, that means 2 angles that add to 90 degrees. So to find the complement, I'm going to take 90 minus 72, and that's going to be 18. Supplement, if you remember, means add to 180 degrees. So to find the supplement of 35, I'm going to take 180 minus 35, and that's 145 degrees. Question number 8, the measure of angle QXR. So we got to trace it. QXR. So that's this middle angle right here. That's going to be 40 degrees. So I'm going to take this 40 and I'm going to put it right in there. measure of angle RXS, RXS is 25. So that's going to be 25 right there. Then it says, find the measure of angle QXS. QXS. Well, what I can see here is that QXS is made up of these two angles. So if I want to find that, I just need to add those two together. This is like extra over here I don't need in the problem. If I want to find this angle, I need to add these two things up. All right, so the measure of angle QXS is simply going to be 40 plus 25, or 65 degrees. And the last one. This is actually probably one of the easier ones on this whole page of notes. This symbol right here, if you remember, means perpendicular. That means 90 degrees. So in this figure, I know that's a 90-degree angle. So is this one, and this one. I've got 4 90-degree angles. BCD happens to be one of those 90-degree angles. So if this angle is 2x plus 16, and I want to find the value of x, all I have to do is say 2x plus 16 equals 90. All right, and we'll subtract 16 from both sides. I get 2x, let's see, what's that, 74? Divide by 2. And 74 divided by 2 is 37. And the question says find the value of x. So as soon as you do that, we are done. So that was a quick review of our first couple days. Now you have more than enough practice to do Delta Math Homework 3. And as usual, guys, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks, and see you guys soon.